Good afternoon. My name is Karen Mena, and today I will be going over who my representatives are in government. So, a quick overview of what I'll be discussing in this presentation. I'll be presenting who my representatives are, both at a state and federal level, as far as the senators, who is my member in the assembly, and what the district maps, which will show the area that they're over, and then to conclude, based on those maps, being able to determine if there's any type of gerrymandering that can be noted based on the breakdown of each of the districts. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's begin with our United States senators. For California, we have Dianne Feinstein, who was elected back in 1992, and then just this year, recently elected Kamala Harris as our second senator from California. Now, I'm a part of the 31st Congressional District, for which Pete Aguilar is my member of Congress. In the map, you can see the area that is covered by Pete Aguilar as Redlands, San Bernardino, and then it goes into Rancho Cucamonga. Now, moving on to my state senate, I am under District 23, for which Senator Mike Morrell presides over. We can see in the map that we definitely have the same area as far as San Bernardino, Redlands, and Rancho, but there is quite a bit of expansion and difference in the coverage and the breakdown on this map. We can see it goes all the way down into Hemet and then kind of curves over to Menifee and goes all the way up into Phelan and down into Rancho as well. So definitely in this map, there is a change in the coverage area for Senator Mike Morrell. And finally, for my state assembly, I am a part of District 40, for which Assemblyman Mark Stein North is my representative. And in this map, we can see that it looks a bit more like the first map, which was District 30 with Congressman Pete Aguilar covering San Bernardino, Redlands, and going into Rancho. But this map, although not, the expansion is not quite as much as Mike Morrell's, does go up north a little bit into the Cajon Junction. So it goes a little bit further up, covers Lido Creek, again closer to the 31st Congressional District map, but there is also a bit of difference as far as the coverage. Now, as far as gerrymandering is concerned, I think if I'm looking at the maps, like just based on the breakdowns, if I'm basing it just on that, then I would say, yeah, that there's some gerrymandering going on. I mean, especially for my Senate district, District 23, that was represented by Mike Morrell. I mean, there definitely was a bigger coverage area in comparison to my state assembly and then my congressional district, which were more, a little bit more similar to each other. So if I'm looking at that, then I would say, yeah, but I mean, obviously there's more to, like what coverage area they have than just the map, or what would determine if it's gerrymandering than just what the breakdown of a map is, because I mean, it has to represent people and not just land. So when I was looking up, like as far as like my state senator, it indicated that they represent like an average of like I think it was like 900,000 people. So then I would assume that that automatically would make it a larger area as far as like how it would look in a map. So again, if I would have to answer that, I would say that, probably, yeah, there is a slight case of gerrymandering going on still. But I mean, in comparison to some of the other states that I saw when I was doing my research, There were some that are labeled like the worst offenders when it comes to gerrymandering. I mean, there was like New York and Florida and Texas and North Carolina was like labeled like the number one offender when it came to gerrymandering. And I mean, looking at their maps and I mean, it was like blatant, it wasn't like just an expansion of area. It was like blatant um, the way that the maps were broken down and the excuses that were brought up as far as like why the breakdowns were done that way, I mean, didn't even make any sense. So, I mean, in comparison to that, then, it really makes the breakdown of my maps look like it's nothing. So, again, there might be a slight case of it, but it doesn't seem to be anything too far out there.